As a lot of you know, I've made a lot of Alex Smith videos. The first one I made I thought was pretty good, but the second one was based on his recovery. I didn't really like that one, if I'm being honest. But today, I'm just going to be recapping everything that has happened through Alex Smith's career. I'm not going to go too deep into the first part before his injury. If you want me to go deeper into that, you should watch my other Alex Smith video. But I will go deeper into this past season and what happened during the season. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alex Smith attended the University of Utah, and it wasn't until his third season at Utah where Smith really broke out. He has 67.5 completion percentage with 2,952 yards and 32 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. This performance was good enough to make him one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Smith declared for the 2005 NFL Draft, where he was drafted with the number 1 overall pick by the San Francisco 49ers. Alex Smith struggled in his rookie season a lot. He started 7 games, throwing for just 1 touchdown and 11 interceptions. 2006 and 2007, he got a bit better, but still not that good. And 2008, he missed the whole season with a shoulder injury. 2009 and 2010, where Smith struggled as well. And then 2011. At this point in his career, a lot of people had already labeled Smith a bust. But the 49ers gave him one last shot in 2011. And with new head coach Jim Harbaugh, Smith had an amazing season. He led the 49ers to a 13-3 record, throwing for 17 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. I know it's not amazing stats, but it's better than the last year. And Smith was able to win a playoff game, as the 49ers beat the New Orleans Saints in the NFC divisional round, but then lost to the New York Giants the following week. It was a devastating loss, but the 49ers regrouped and came back better than ever in 2012. Smith was doing amazing. He'd already thrown for 13 touchdowns, and the team has started 6-2. But then in a game against the Rams, Smith suffered a concussion. Backup quarterback Colin Kaepernick came in, took the starting job, and never gave it back. Smith had to sit and watch on the bench as Colin Kaepernick led his team all the way to the Super Bowl, where they lost to the Baltimore Ravens. In the offseason, the 49ers decided that Colin Kaepernick was their quarterback of the future, so they shipped Alex Smith off to the Kansas City Chiefs for 2 second-round picks. And in 2013 through 2016, the Chiefs made the playoffs all the seasons but one. But they only made it past the wildcard round once. However, the Chiefs drafted someone that you might have heard of. His name is Patrick Mahomes, with the 10th overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. Smith knew that the 2017 NFL season was going to be his last with the Kansas City Chiefs. So, he made the most of it. He led the Chiefs to a 5-0 start, and the team finished 10-6. Mahomes threw for 26 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, which is really good. However, the team lost in the wildcard round to the Tennessee Titans. This was Smith's final game as a Kansas City Chief. Smith was officially traded to Washington on March 14th, 2018 for a 3rd-round pick and Kendall Fuller. And Smith was really good with Washington. They started the season 6-3, which was the top of the NFC East. But then, Week 11 against the Texans.
Unfortunately, I've got what looks like very bad news for the Washington Redskins. Alex Smith suffers it's a gruesome leg injury. You're going to see a replay. Look away. It is a graphic injury. It looks like Alex Smith has broken his leg. In the city where Joe Theismann's terrible injury, oh boy, terrible injury happened.
Alex Smith suffered a broken tibia and fibula, and even worse, the leg got infected. Forget football, Alex Smith was fighting for his life. Football is almost out of the question. At one point, the doctor said that the best option would be to cut his leg off. But Smith was determined to keep his leg, and they were able to save his leg and his life. Nobody expected Smith ever to play football again. But somehow, after lots of hard work, almost about a year and a half after his injury, Smith was taken off the physically unable to perform list and participated in the majority of Washington's training camp, which was really surprising for a lot of people. And he made the team, but he was the team's third-string quarterback, and nobody really expected him to get any playing time. The team started the season well. They won their first game over the Philadelphia Eagles, but then they lost their next 3 games under quarterback Dwayne Haskins. So, Coach Ron Rivera made a bold coaching decision. He decided to move Dwayne Haskins down to third-string quarterback, move Kyle Allen up to starter, and Alex Smith the backup. That meant if Allen got injured or wasn't playing well, Smith would come in and play. And Allen did get injured. He got injured in the second quarter, right before the 2-minute warning, and Smith came in and played. But under bad conditions, it was raining. He only passed for 37 yards and had a completion percentage of just over 50, which isn't very good. And the next week, Allen was healthy and started their game against the New York Giants. Kyle Allen started the next 2 games, going 1-1, which was decent. But in a game against the New York Giants, Allen suffered a season-ending ankle injury. That meant that Smith was the starter now. He came in against the Giants and threw for his first touchdown since November of 2018. But he also threw 3 interceptions and Washington lost 20-23. The next week, Smith started his first game since November 18th, 2020 against the Detroit Lions. But through the first half, it wasn't going really well as Washington was down 24-3. But Smith led his team downfield for 3 straight touchdowns to tie the game at 24. The Lions kicked a field goal, then Washington kicked a field goal, and the Lions got the ball with just 16 seconds remaining. But Stafford led his team downfield to set up a 59-yard Matt Prater field goal to win the game for the Lions. The next week, Smith had his worst performance yet, throwing for 166 yards and 1 touchdown to 1 interception. But that was enough, because Washington was able to beat the Cincinnati Bengals 20-9. This was Smith's first win since November of 2018. The following week, Washington played a Thanksgiving game against the Dallas Cowboys, where Smith was decent. He threw for 149 yards and 1 touchdown to 1 interception. But Antonio Gibson dominated and Washington creamed the Cowboys, a final score of 41-16. The next week, Smith and Washington shocked the world as they took down the undefeated 11-0 Pittsburgh Steelers, a final score of 23-17. Smith throwing for 269 yards and 1 touchdown, didn't turn over the ball once. The next week against the 49ers, Smith threw for 57 yards and a pick in the first half before being taken out of the game in the second half due to injury. But the team's defense dominated and they were able to beat the 49ers 23-15. This moved them into first place in their division. Smith was out for the next 2 games due to injury, and the team lost both those games. But because their division sucked, all they had to do was to win their Week 17 game, and they were in. Smith came back and threw for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns as the team was able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles 20-14 and clinch their spot in the NFL playoffs. Unfortunately for Smith, the same injury that kept him out of weeks 15 and 16 kept him out of their wild card game. Backup quarterback Taylor Heinicke played well, but not good enough as Washington fell to the eventual Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On February 6, 2020, Smith won the Comeback Player of the Year as he earned 49 out of the possible 50 votes. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, this video took me a while to make, so I could really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button and like it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.